Blueface was pretty stupid. I'll tell you why. Blueface is signed to Wack100 and managed by Wack100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half of it. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying?
I look at his wife at the time like, excuse me, man, like, would you?
So that's really like 70, and you getting like 30. Damn.
Would you insist on your son signing this right here? Like, like if I was your son, would you recommend this? She was like, yeah, I would. And I signed at that time. That was like my confirmation.
No lawyer, no nothing.
No lawyer, no nothing.
Okay.
Wack100 was supposed to be Blueface's manager and business partner, but instead, he's been finessing him out of millions for years. Let's take a look at how one of hip-hop's most controversial managers pulled off one of the industry's biggest scams right in front of our eyes. Wack100 is a music manager and industry veteran from Los Angeles, best known for managing
just you, building your app on Base 44.
Managing controversial artists and making headlines with his outspoken personality. Born Cash Jones, Wack100 built his reputation in the streets before transitioning into the music business. He's managed everyone from The Game to Ray J, but his relationship with Blueface might be his most profitable and most questionable business move yet. Meanwhile, Blueface was just a young dude from Los Angeles who stumbled into rap success. Born Jonathan Porter, he was gang-banging in the streets when he accidentally went viral with Thoshiana. At the time, he had zero knowledge about the music industry, contracts, or business deals. He was literally just a street dude who could rap off beat and somehow made it work.
Man, the fact that he didn't have a lawyer present when he signed is crazy. I think he even been saying that he signed like a 360 deal. That's damn near when they take all your guap. Man.
Made Blueface the perfect target for someone like Wack100. Here you got a young, naive artist who just went viral, got no management, no lawyer, no industry knowledge whatsoever. He's making money, but don't know how to protect it or structure deals properly. That's when Wack100 swooped in like a vulture. According to Blueface himself, Wack100's daughter heard Thoshiana and put her pops onto the song. Wack100 then slid into Blueface's DMs trying to set up a meeting, but Blueface was hesitant at first because when you Google Wack100, all you see is controversy and drama. Blueface even admitted he was standoffish about dealing with Wack because of his reputation. He said, when you Google them, people tell you about him. It's nothing but crazy. On top of that, Wack100 used to go by Crip Killer Wack back in the day, and Blueface is a Crip, so that made things even more.
Crip Killer Wack is crazy. I know why they call him Wack though, because that nigga whack. That nigga whack as hell. Every time I see that nigga on No Jumper, that nigga just rah, 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 rah. Nigga whack, man.
Complicated. But Wack100 wasn't giving up. He kept blowing up Blueface's phone, trying to get him to come to his house for a meeting. Blueface kept ignoring the calls until one of his homies told him to just hear Wack out and see what he had to say. At this point, Blueface was doing everything by himself, booking shows, shooting videos, handling his own business. He was also getting interest from major labels like Atlantic and Empire, but he felt like they didn't understand his street background. When a lady at Atlantic asked if he was Cry instead of Crip, he realized these corporate people didn't get it. One day, Blueface was at the park in the hood having a good time when Wack100 started blowing up his phone again, telling him to come to his house. Blueface did.
Any nigga blowing up your phone is a red flag, cause especially like an industry person like Wack, it's like, why are you blowing up my phone? You ain't got no other ventures going on. You gotta blow up my phone. It's that, yeah, that's a red flag for sure. Like, yeah, that's a red flag.
Didn't want to go, but Wack sent a car to pick him up. When Blueface got to Wack100's mansion, he was immediately impressed. He said, when you see somebody who got it, it's like, okay, I like that. This was exactly what Wack100 wanted, to show off his wealth and success to motivate Blueface and make him think Wack could get him to that level too. Here's where it gets crazy. Wack100 had the contract already written up and ready to go when Blueface arrived. Think about that. He had legal documents prepared before they even had a proper business discussion. That's predatory behavior right there. But the most manipulative part was what happened next. Blueface looked at Wack100's wife and asked her, would you insist on your son signing this right here? Like, if I was...
Bro, why in the hell? Bro, it's Wack's wife. Of course she gonna lie. She trying to get that guap. She trying to get that moolah. Of course she gonna say yeah. That's crazy. That's damn.
Your son, would you recommend this? And she said yes.
I look at his wife at the time like, excuse me, man, like, would you insist on your son signing this right here? Like, like if I was your son, would you recommend this? She was like, yeah, I would. And I signed at that time. That was like my confirmation.
No lawyer, no nothing.
No lawyer, no nothing.
Okay.
Based on that response from Wack's wife, Blueface signed the contract right then and there. No lawyer, no time to review the terms, no understanding of what he was getting into. He just signed because he trusted that a mother wouldn't steer him wrong. Now here's where Wack100's finesse game gets exposed. The contract Blueface signed wasn't just a management deal, it was a record deal and a management deal combined. This means Wack100 gets paid twice from the same revenue streams. As Blueface's record label, Wack100 takes 50% of all music earnings right off the top. Then as his manager, he takes another 20% of Blueface's remaining earnings. Do the math, that's 70% of Blueface's money going straight to Wack100. DJ Academics broke this down on his
Picked a great main, but your voice doesn't quite match it?
We have a fix.
Voice mod gives you over 150
stream and called it exactly what it is. Double.
That's crazy. Nigga taking 70% of your streams, your music, everything. You damn. The record, the contract could have said 10 years. The record, but the contract could have said anything. The contract could have said 10 years. I get 100% everything. The contract could have said, damn, bro, that shit could have said 99%. You get 1%, bro. He just signed it, didn't even read it. He damn near, you could sign your life away with a contract. It's called a contract. Your ass getting conned. Man.
Dipping.
I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm gonna tell you why. Blueface is signed to Wack100 and managed by Wack100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to a label, they take at least half already. Then you're getting managed by the guy who owns the label. So of your 50% that you're getting, or less than 50%, he's still taking at least 20% of that too. It's double dipping. You get what I'm saying?
In a normal situation, you either have a record deal or a management deal, not both with the same person. That's a clear conflict of interest because your manager is supposed to negotiate the best deals for you, but how can he do that when he's also the one paying you? For context, most management deals are 15 to 20%, and most record deals split revenue 50-50 after recouping expenses. But Wack100 structured this deal so he gets the best of both worlds while Blueface gets screwed from every angle. The worst part is that this isn't just a short-term deal. These contracts typically last for multiple albums and years, which means Wack100 has been collecting 70% of Blueface's earnings for years and will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Fast forward to today, and you can see the results of this predatory.
Damn, he making more money off Blueface stuff than Blueface ever did. He taking a whole 70. He the record label and the manager. Oh my God. Damn.
Contract. Blueface recently got out of jail and came home broke. Think about that. A dude who had multiple platinum records and was one of the biggest rappers in the world just a few years ago is now struggling financially. His crab restaurant that he was promoting isn't doing well either. When you're only keeping 30% of your earnings, it's hard to build sustainable businesses or investments for the future. Most of his money has been going straight to Wack100's pockets. Reports are saying Blueface is even having to sell his house now. This is a perfect example of how these predatory contracts can destroy an artist's financial future. While Wack100 is living in mansions and flashing wealth on social media, the artist who actually created the music is going broke. And the crazy part is, Blueface is still locked into this deal. Even if he wanted to get out, these contracts are designed to be nearly impossible to break without paying massive penalties or going through expensive legal battles. And remember, Blueface was young and inexperienced when he signed this deal. He was maybe 21 years old, fresh out the streets with no business knowledge. Wack100.
Damn, so he blew up that nigga phone, sent him a car. 70% of Blueface stuff. Damn, he making more money off Blueface stuff than Blueface ever did. He taking a whole 70. He the record label and the manager. Oh my God. Damn, so he blew up that nigga phone, sent him a car. Sent him a car. and finessed them out of M's. That nigga whack as hell. That nigga, damn. You should have just paid attention to the nigga name. The nigga name is Wack100. He basically saying, I'm whack. Let's keep it 100. I'm whack.
Took advantage of that inexperience and locked him into a deal that benefits Wack way more than it benefits the actual artist. This isn't just about Blueface. This is about a pattern in the music industry where older, more experienced businessmen prey on young, naive artists. They use psychological manipulation, flash wealth, and create urgency to get artists to sign deals without proper representation. Looking back, there were so many red flags that Blueface should have caught. Having a contract ready before negotiations, combining record and management deals, not allowing time for legal review, these are all classic predatory tactics. The most manipulative part was using Wack100's wife to validate the contract.
I'm saying though, it's his wife. Like, why the hell am I fit to sign a contract and I'm asking the person that made the contract wife, would you let your son sign this? Of course she gonna say yeah. The fuck? She probably even, bro. Major red flag. Nah. Like academic said, nigga stupid.
That's psychological manipulation at its finest, making the artist feel like they're getting family advice when really they're being set up to get finessed. Industry knowledge matters. This situation shows why artists need to educate themselves about the business side of music. If Blueface had understood basic contract terms or had a lawyer review the deal, he could have avoided this trap entirely. From Wack100's perspective, he probably feels justified because he did help Blueface navigate the industry and book bigger shows. But taking 70% of someone's earnings is excessive by any standard, especially when that person is doing most of the creative work.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Power dynamic is completely lopsided. Wack100 controls Blueface's career, his money, and his business decisions. That's not a partnership, that's ownership. And when you own someone's career like that, you can basically do whatever you want with their finances. No way out. The most frustrating part for Blueface is probably that he can't easily get out of this situation. These contracts...
Man, imagine getting 30% out of your own money. Your own money, 30%. That means if you make $100,000, you getting $30,000. Nah.
They're designed to be ironclad, and breaking them usually requires paying back advances, legal fees, and sometimes even more money than the artist has. So while Blueface is struggling financially, selling his house, and dealing with legal problems, Wack100 continues to collect his 70% cut from everything Blueface does. That's millions of dollars over the years that should have stayed in the artist's pocket. The biggest lesson here is to never ever sign a contract without having a lawyer review it first. I don't care how much you trust the person or how good the deal sounds. Get independent legal advice before you sign anything. A lot of these industry veterans position themselves as mentors and father figures to young artists, but really they're just looking for their next payday. True mentorship doesn't involve taking 70% of someone's earnings. Wack100's mansion and lifestyle created an illusion that made Blueface think he could achieve the same success by signing with him. But what Blueface didn't realize is that Wack100's wealth was built on taking huge percentages from multiple artists over the years. The damage from these contracts extends beyond just money. When artists can't build wealth from their own success, they can't invest in their communities, support their families properly, or create generational wealth. It keeps them dependent on the same system that's exploiting them. If Blueface had proper legal representation, they would have immediately identified the problems with this contract structure. A good entertainment lawyer would have negotiated separate deals or at least reduced the percentages significantly. Industry education. If there were better educational resources for new artists about contract terms and industry standards, Blueface would have known that 70% was way too high and that double dipping was unethical. If Blueface had consulted with other artists who had experience with management deals, they probably would have warned him about the red flags in this situation. Taking time, Simply taking a few days to think about the deal and research industry standards could have saved Blueface millions of dollars. The urgency was artificial, created by Wack100 to prevent Blueface from making an informed decision. Blueface had interest from major labels like Atlantic and Empire. While those deals might not have been perfect either, they probably would have been more favorable than giving 70% to one person. Today, Blueface is dealing with the consequences of that contract he signed years ago. Coming home from jail broke, struggling with his business ventures and having to sell assets, all while Wack100 continues to profit from his work. The irony is that Blueface's success made Wack100 wealthy, but the contract structure prevented Blueface from building his own sustainable wealth. It's like working for a company where your boss gets rich while you stay broke, except you can't quit. Limited options. At this point, Blueface's options are limited. He can try to renegotiate the contract, but Wack100 has no incentive to give up his 70% cut. He can try to break the contract, but that would probably cost more money than he has. Or he can continue working under these terms and hope to make enough volume to survive on his 30%. The psychological impact. Beyond the financial impact, this situation probably affects Blueface's motivation and creativity. When you know that most of your earnings are going to someone else, it's hard to stay motivated to work at your highest level. How this looks to other artists. Other artists in the industry are watching this situation and learning from it. It serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of proper representation and understanding contract terms before signing. The relationship between Wack100 and Blueface isn't really a manager-artist relationship. It's more like an owner-employee relationship. Real managers work for their artists and help them maximize their earnings. They don't structure deals to maximize their own profits at the artist's expense. This is essentially an extreme version of a 360 deal where the label gets a piece of everything the artist does. But even most 360 deals don't take 70% of an artist's earnings. That's just excessive by any industry standard. If this kind of contract structure becomes normalized, it could set a dangerous precedent.
Damn, so this contract is worse than a 360 deal? I thought a 360 deal was the worst type of contract you could sign. Damn. That's crazy. That's right though, cause if I'm only getting 30%, you're not really gonna want to go as hard as you can. Like, you could be like, nigga, I'm not even seeing the type of money I should be seeing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna really want to drop an album. How's that? I don't think nigga ain't really drop no albums like that. Damn, this nigga whack ass nigga, man. I mean, nigga's stupid though. He should not sign a contract, but still, like, how lame can you be? Like, he at least could have signed a 50-50 deal. He signed a 50, then the 20% because he the record label and the manager. That's tough. Damn. He for sure would have been better off being independent. Man.
For how young artists get treated in the industry. Other managers might start demanding similar terms, knowing that desperate artists might accept them. These kinds of business disputes often destroy personal relationships too. Blueface probably trusted Wack100 and saw him as a mentor figure, but now he's realizing he was being taken advantage of the whole time. When an artist can't build wealth from their success, it affects their whole family. Blueface has kids and family members who should be benefiting from his.
There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
They don't want you to know about it.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout?
Success, but instead, most of that money is going to Wack100. The stress of financial problems, legal issues, and feeling trapped in a bad contract can seriously impact someone's mental health. Success should bring security and peace of mind, not more stress and problems. When you're only keeping 30% of your earnings, it's hard to stay motivated to work hard and create new music. Why put in maximum effort when someone else is getting most of the benefit? The music industry needs better regulations to protect young artists from predatory contracts. There should be limits on how much managers and labels can take, especially from inexperienced artists. Mandatory legal review. Maybe there should be a mandatory waiting period and legal review requirement for any contract over a certain percentage or dollar amount. This would prevent artists from making impulsive decisions that ruin their financial future.
Nah, the rappers need to lawyer up. That's what they need to do. They need to lawyer up, read the contract. I mean, even if you read the contract, you can, at some point of that contract, it's going to say 50%, 20%. You feel me? If you know how to read, you know what I'm saying? The way the nigga signed it, I'm guessing Blueface can't even read because, damn. But, yeah, they need to lower the hell up and the fuck, you could just hire a lawyer for that day, if anything. The fuck, or, yeah. That's crazy, though.
Education programs. The industry should invest in education programs that teach artists about contract terms, industry standards, and business basics before they start signing deals. Peer support networks. Experienced artists should do more to mentor newcomers and warn them about common scams and predatory practices in the industry. Transparency requirements. Maybe contracts should be required to clearly state the total percentage being taken and compare it to industry standards so artists understand exactly what they're agreeing to. At the end of the day, Blueface is the real victim here. He was a young dude who got lucky with a viral song, but instead of that success setting him up for life, it became the foundation for someone else to get rich off his work. The systemic problem. This isn't just about one bad contract. It's about a systemic problem in the music industry where experienced business people prey on young, inexperienced artists. Until that changes, we'll keep seeing situations like this. The importance of education. The biggest takeaway is that knowledge is power. If Blueface had understood basic contract terms and industry standards, he could have avoided this whole situation. Every young artist needs to educate themselves about the business side of music. Trust, but verify. You can trust people, but you should always verify what they're telling you through independent sources. Just because someone seems successful or trustworthy doesn't mean they have your best interests at heart. The long-term view. When you're making business decisions, always think about the long-term consequences. A deal that seems good in the moment might end up costing you millions over the years. Hope for change. Hopefully.
Facts. Because if Blueface make $1 million, Blueface make $1 million, Wack100. Wait, if Blueface make $1 million, Wack100, you know what I'm saying, he only getting 300,000 out of that. It sound cool, but nah, not out of $1 million. Not out of $1 million. 300,000 out of $1 million, that ain't nothing. Out of $1 million, nah. So I mean, if you make $3 million, your ass only getting like 900,000. That's crazy.
Situations like this will lead to positive changes in the industry. Maybe future artists will be better protected, and maybe predatory managers will face more scrutiny for their practices. The legacy. Unfortunately, Blueface's legacy might end up being as much about this contract situation as it is about his music. But if his experience helps other young artists avoid similar traps, then at least...
That's why Blueface been on Twitch. He better stay on Twitch. He can't take the Twitch money. He could take the money, the music money, but he can't take the Twitch money. So, shit, he better stay on that Twitch career shit.
At least some good will come from this bad situation. Final warning. To any young artists watching this, please learn from Blueface's mistake. Get a lawyer, understand your contracts, and never let anyone pressure you into signing something you don't fully understand. Your future financial security depends on the decisions you make today. The music industry can be a beautiful thing when it works properly, but it can also be a predatory environment that destroys young people's lives. Stay educated, stay protected, and always remember that if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Damn. Nigga Blueface getting finessed out his coins, out his chicken, out his moolah, out his guap. Man, let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. And let me know if y'all think this nigga Wack is whack. And let me know what y'all think though, man.